Hadjiyska, principal broker with Encourage Realty, and I have welcomed you guys today in one of our beautiful listings, 39 Wellington Court in Sugar Land, Texas, to talk about best practices of selling a home fast. There are multiple aspects of doing that efficiently, and it all has to do with teamwork, diligence, and a proven process. Follow me around a bit while I walk you through our listing, while we discuss what that teamwork is comprised of. We first work on staging, and I discuss staging in 2 points. One is staging for photos and to prepping the home, and the other one is staging for showings. We bring in professional photographers to photograph the home prior to our listing, and I work very closely with the seller to declutter. And what I tell sellers is to depersonalize the home, to remove any personal items, photos for the photo shoot, and to almost make the home feel like a fancy hotel room. So as you can see, the home right now does not look like a fancy hotel room because the owners still live here and it is occupied. But for the photos, we had cleared out a lot of items, moved things around. We ran around with the photographers and we made the home come off a bit cleaner and more neutral in a sense. We understand that sellers live in the home, so after the photo shoots we put back some of the items, but the cleaner we can keep it and the more hotel room-like, fancy hotel room-like we can keep it, the better feeling new prospective clients and buyers get while they're walking through the home, imagining themselves living there at that time. We've discussed staging a home for photos prior to listing. Now let's talk a little bit about staging the home for showings. This is the time where buyers start visiting the home and touring and getting their first impressions, which are extremely important. What I advise is, again, we don't have the expectation of having a sterile home because sellers still do live there, but it's advisable to make the beds, don't have any dirty dishes in the sink, open up all the blinds, pull the curtains away, turn on the lights, and have the home clean, smelling clean, looking clean, to give the buyers an opportunity to imagine themselves living in the home. One of the responsibilities that I have as a broker is to have a conversation with the seller and to discuss upgrades, updates, and features that they are aware of exist in their home or that they have done themselves. What I mean by this is I like to add a list like this. We are in 39 Wellington Court in Sugar Land. It is a very unique property. As you can see around, it's not a cookie cutter home. All of the floors are custom, the windows are Pella, there's a lot of energy efficient features, there's radiant barrier roofs. So this is information that the buyer doesn't really know when they're walking through the property. There's things that they cannot see, or I believe it's extremely valuable to point their attention to items that have been added or that are valuable. For example, here we have gorgeous Italian marble countertops that is extremely expensive, and it is an important thing for the buyers to know. In addition to the physical features that we highlight within the home, we also talk about other important features such as school zones. It's extremely important for parents to have their children in good schools, which in our MLS HER system actually are tied to the listings, where there's a lot of additional information and rankings that potential buyers can look at with our listings. Other questions that I receive often from buyers are, has the home flooded? I obtained this extra information from the seller and include it in our listing before being asked, as we already have the expectations that we will receive questions relating to that. We've staged the home for the photos. We have the photos. We've staged for showings. We're ready to put the home on the market. We ran our comparative market analysis. We know what the ranges are for pricing the home right. Now it's the time to list the home on the multiple listing service on MLS. This is the centralized system that we use here in the Greater Houston area. And it's where we as broker agents, realtors, enter the listing information. A lot of buyers use Zillow, Homes.com, Trulia.com, Realtor.com to search. And while these apps or websites are extremely intuitive and easy to use, I always revert to AGR and MLS when inquiring about a property, or if I want to have the most current and accurate information. Now that our listing is active on the multiple listing service, we want to give buyers the opportunity to come and visit the home. We like to announce an open house within the first 1 or 2 weeks of the brand new listing, which is generating quite a lot of interest. It is announced as a new listing on the multiple listing service, and there are a lot of people looking at those. They're monitoring the market. So at our open house, we welcome buyers that are just shopping around and curious. We welcome buyers that don't know that they have the right to use a free agent to represent them, and they think they just have to do it themselves. And we also get buyers who have agents, but whose agents are busy or out of town, and we also give them the opportunity to come and view the property. We all know how important first impressions are, and I want to encourage everybody who's trying to sell a home quickly to use professional photographers. But please discourage them from using wide lens cameras or to over edit the photographs, which may actually be detrimental when the buyers come in and are a bit disappointed from what they actually find in the home. To supplement our listings, we do provide professionally done brochures that we leave at the property for buyers and prospects to pick up. I like having these brochures to remind the buyers how beautiful the home looked when we were staging it, where everything was clean, especially if at this point right now somebody still lives here and it looks a little bit different. It also highlights key features, upgrades, updates, distance from major sites around the city or areas that buyers might be working and wondering how long their commute is, as well as a list of the key upgrades and updates that we obtained from the seller. And this I also like to take for my buyers when I visit properties with them as a keepsake. I think it's a wonderful memory to have for someone who's perhaps excited about purchasing their first home.